Alright, we are back. Game 2 of this 3-game series between Bad Monkey Gaming and Wake of Gods in the Gold Division round of 8. Game 1 going to BMG. Pretty easy victory for them. Nice little laning phase, and that snowballed pretty quickly into a 25-minute victory. Kraken, Parasite, and Deadwood, the first 3 picks for the BMG side on Game 2. Ravener and Tremble get taken out by Haxorn once again, as they're trying to focus Rainwall on their series, I suppose. Magnus and Silhouette get banned out this time, so a little bit less of an immediate focus on KGE, and trying to address Haxorn a little bit as well with that Silhouette ban on Motz's side. Rhapsody, Gauntlet, and Defiler, the selections for Wake of Gods, and interesting set of hero picks. I'm not a huge fan of Gauntlet in general myself. I just don't think he does all that well, and he does some things pretty decently, but most of the stuff he does, you'd think other heroes can sort of do better. Pebbles in particular, if you're looking for a bursty strength initiator, Gauntlet's a little bit better of a laner than Pebbles is early on. But he's got a lower cycle, and he has a real stun, which has an AoE, and his Chuck is much more useful, and I think his overall mana cost is smaller, considering that both heroes typically get a portal key. Now, for some very, very good Gauntlet players, it still might be better to pick up a Gauntlet, but I think in general, you look at a hero like Pebbles and you're like, yeah, that's probably a better selection for a burst strength initiator. So we'll see how Gauntlet does in this game. Anyway, Defiler, the other one you want to talk about, a hero that I think is rather underrated right now. Not a super high tier pick, but one we almost never see, and I think she deserves a little bit more prevalence on the competitive scene right now. No escape mechanism, not particularly tanky until you start to get her a bunch of tank items, and no CC tools other than a big fat AoE 6-second silence, which has a ridiculously huge radius. So in teamfights, she is a fantastic hero, and with the right lineup, she can do a ridiculous amount of work. The question is, can you build the correct lineup around her? We'll see if WoG can do that, but I think a lot more teams should be interested and open to exploring the possibility of Defiler and how she might fit in the competitive scene right now, just because she does dish out a lot of damage, and she does push very, very quickly, and she can be continuously active with an ultimate that has a very short downtime between the low-ish cooldown and how long it actually stays up. Defiler can be a very difficult hero to counter, so we'll see how it works in this game, but WoG definitely going for the off-the-wall hero picks here. Haxorn in the second betting stage will take out Ophelia Balfagor and Accursed, so Blade Puppet Master and Bubbles being removed by Motz, and obviously both the Swiftblade and PM a little bit more angry with Haxorn. Bubbles aimed at Owned Me, who had a fantastic Bubbles game last game. They don't want to give him that hero yet again. Likely he'll be on the Kraken, as we see the Deadwood get picked up as well. That's probably going to be their middle hero for Super KGE, and probably going to be a Suicide Kraken in Owned Me's hands. Accursed ban, definitely worth noting, as Boxy has made that hero a top-tier pick, and definitely one that you want to be wary of. Not one you'll see in every game, but if you happen to come across it, you cannot underestimate it. It's so hard to bring him down, and you can actually output a really good amount of damage, so not a bad ban by Haxorn at all. Just don't want to deal with it, don't want to take the chance, and considering the off-the-wall picks the Hellborn have already picked up, and boy, if it just continues, this is definitely a push lineup. You look at it, it's a very strange push lineup, but Bramble and Defiler are very, very quick pushers, and Rhapsody on top of that, hammer the dance floor. They're looking to be taking down towers as quickly as they possibly can. The Legion side, they've actually got very good counter push. With the Aluna and the Deadwood, they will kill creeps quickly. Now the issue is the Hellborn don't really have a huge amount of creeps type push strat. They don't have an Ophelia, they don't have a Tempest, they don't have a Keeper of the Forest, they don't have a Balfagor. So the Power Throw, the Rotten Grasp, and even the Hags, Sonar Scream, and that sort of counter-push mechanisms, they're not going to be quite as effective against the type of push that the Hellborn team have. Now, it's still going to be annoying to deal with, especially if they manage to kill the creep waves very quickly, because that's going to result in the Hellborn team being forced to take tower hits if they want to continue to tank or to survive and keep their push up. But they also have a good team actually for that. Bramble, very, very tanky, and once again, Rhapsody is going to provide a lot of healing. And then of course you have the Mortar to back it up, and Defiler's build usually has her build very tanky because her damage output will come from her ultimate, so it wouldn't be surprising to see this Hellborn team's push strat pay off against the Legion side that may or may not be able to counter it as effectively as they're looking to. Now, in general, I'm not a huge fan of the Legion lineup, and as I suggested, it's going to be a Suicide Kraken, which is not a hero combination, or lane hero combination that I like. And we're also looking at a hard support Aluna, which is one of the worst things to do in the game. She's a very good laning support, but after that she absolutely does nothing. And we've seen her just lose way too many games. You may have any confidence in that hero as a good lane support. KGE on the Deadwood, and that's a mediocre hero in general, I feel. It's getting hyped a lot and being used a lot, but actually hasn't had that much success. Definitely has the potential to do very well, and the burst potential is good, the lockdown is good, and difficult to catch and kill, especially with the clear cutting. Can provide some pretty great initiation, but doesn't do it in the AoE too much, and even has difficulty killing heroes by himself. The combination of the Willowmaker and the Rotten Grasp is a good one, but it's not a guaranteed kill on every hero. It won't be a guaranteed kill on Bramble in particular. It probably won't be a guaranteed kill on Defiler once she gets some decent HP up. And if you can't kill those two cores, you're not really doing what you want. So we'll see how KGE's Devour works out. Game is grim. We're going to be on the Parasite once more, and Hack's going to be on his traditional Wretched Hag. Here we've seen very little of recently. Obviously a very, very popular pick for most of HoN history, but in the last several months we haven't seen too much Wretched Hag, which is pretty fair. She actually hasn't done all that well. Just a very versatile hero that really can't find a niche, because most of the things that she can do can be occupied by other heroes and done better. So you typically see a Hag pick early on, realizing, okay, we can run it as a suicide if we need to, but teams sort of figuring out that a suicide Hag isn't very effective, and now picking up a Hag sort of telegraphs that you're going to run it in the short lane. But if you're going to do that, you might as well pick up a better carry, because there really are some straight up better carries out there than Wretched Hag. And you could potentially run her as a mid lane hero if you want, but again, I think a lot of heroes that can fulfill that role and do it better. Puppet Master, Dr. Repulsor, two that spring to mind immediately. Heroes that can play the mid role and also play the short lane role, be carries in both situations, and do well in both environments. And we'll see if Aluna gets jumped on. No, an opportunity for Gauntlet to hook her back right there, but does not take it. Has the grapple leveled up at level 1, so definitely has the capacity to try to jump, but probably looking for level 2 before they want to engage here on the Hellborn side. Gauntlet taking a lot of damage, by the way, from the Aluna in general, and being forced to eat a tree right there. So this middle lane 2 versus 2 matchup, I think, does go in favor of the Hellborn team. Their burst potential is very good, especially once you factor in the Gauntlet's Power Glove. I forgot what it's even called. Infernal Stability? Yeah. Look, I got something right. Not bad. Anyway, they're going to try to go for actually Rhapsody right here as Parasite comes in with the Skeleton King, and that's going to be a Bloodlust. So Gauntlet going to miss the hook, and I'm not sure if it would have done too much anyway. Rhapsody with the aggressive jungle Parasite. Probably just didn't even know where Parasite was. You see the Parasite camp actually. I don't believe that actually blocks this camp right here. So 2 camps still blocked for the Parasite, both the pull camp and the right hard camp. Going to make it very difficult for him to get this long lane where they are running a dual strat. And so he has just migrated to the aggressive jungle, and already that paying off as he came from a direction the Hellborn team were not expecting. They have no vision right there. And so Parasite able to get the easy gank and kill on Rhapsody. Very well played. The game is grim, and the lead side overall, realizing the opportunity was there and taking it. That will assist them in winning this middle lane, which is crucial, because win mid, win game, as fundamentals will often say. Definitely true for both Gauntlet and Deadwood snowball-oriented heroes that look for pickoffs, that look for the opportunity to create space early on after they get their portal keys. And so whoever gets that opportunity first is going to be able to do a lot more for his carry. Top lane, it's going to be Onmi on that Kraken, going up in the Soul lane against the Defiler, and Onmi actually already having a very good time. Jarl is at 360 GPM, so having an even better time as Defiler, but 230 gold per minute on Kraken is certainly not bad, and both teams will see how they progress in this short lane. Parasite looking for the jump. Actually, it's Aluna, sorry, that's here. Parasite actually going to try to help out, but Pallet with the haste rune, plenty of opportunity to get the kill on Jarl, and once again we see the difficulty of Defiler and getting away from things. No escape mechanism, as many heroes like to have at this point in the metagame, and unable to get a kill as a result. Middle lane Deadwood taking some aggression from the combination of Rhapsody and Gauntlet. They realize that the Aluna is not there, so it's their opportunity to engage, but can't get a kill. Bottom lane, Treacher Hack being forced to use the blink. She will get away no problem, but out of health and mana, and still has some trees, but Hack's running at 170 gold per minute, having a pretty terrible time in this bottom lane, and his Bramble is currently sitting at 325 GPM, so the aggressive dual lane working out really well for this Hellborn side. And they're trying to chase her down. She will actually get into the boat right here. She's going to go fishing for a little while. She's stunned. Actually, it's Bramble that's going to be able to walk down there and kill her. You can cliff walk a little bit if it's to try to get a hero that's is somewhere else. She is going to be able to blink away, and we'll see if she can survive. I don't think that they can find her with where she currently is. Martyr being forced to use a health potion right there, and eventually get spotted out as Wretched Hag will be delivered a Ring of the Teacher, and Martyr going to be able to squirt out of there, taking a couple of tower hits, but is eventually fine. So Haxorn really being aggressed in this bottom lane. It's going to be very difficult for him to continue the lane here, as they've clearly shown they're interested in trying to force him as much as possible from getting experience and gold. 150 GPM, I'd say they've done their job very well. Beelzebub in the water actually has no gold whatsoever, no even little 1 or 2 CS. Sad times for that second support. So another hero we haven't talked about too much, but another strange pick in Martyr. Obviously not a hero we see too often, but one that I feel like Defiler and Bramble, to be honest, that should be used more often. We see a good amount of variety in the metagame right now, to be honest, but definitely some heroes, of course, that go overlooked just because, well, maybe some teams legitimately feel, and for good reason, oh, Gauntlet, oh, that's painful. Top lane game is going to take out Euro once again, but I'm waiting for the Gauntlet to just realize that he's sitting on top of a Ward of Revelation. And we'll see if the Legion side will take their advantage. I don't believe he was spotted. I don't think the Archer actually targeted him. No, Luna's going to get jumped on instead. Let's see if she can survive this. It looks like she can't. No, the Rhapsody and the Gauntlet able to take her down and enfeeble. Doing a lot, actually. It does barely slow you, but it lets you get a couple extra auto attacks off, and doing a lot to hit Pallet and Mott's. Not bad. Obviously, Super KG known for his hook hero, so a little bit of friendly all chat. I always like to see that. It's more favorite things to see in these games. It's fun, guys. Come on, have a little more fun with it. It's a nice graphics bug we see with the regen rune, as apparently he's turned into some sort of thing. Beelzebub in the bottom lane gets taken out by Wretched Hag, so let's go back and watch that. Just gonna get a little aggressive and okay, Wretched Hag got the auto attack. That's all we saw. Oh well. Sorry, I'm missing action all over the place as I'm apparently just sitting here and watching random crap and not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Gauntlet looking for the finish onto Wretched Hag, which he will be able to get the blink away, and Mott's not going to be able to find that last pick. So 240 GPM on Gauntlet, not having the greatest time, especially when compared to the 285 KG. Onmi in that long lane actually now out-farming the Defilers, and Onmi is 330 gold per minute, so both games, Onmi in the Suicide role is having an absolutely fantastic time. In fact, he's currently the second highest farmer in the game, just behind that Bramble. And that's not hugely surprising considering how much they've shut down the Wretched Hag, but it's still very, very good. I mean, he has no kills. He has the assist on 1, but no actual kills himself, so he's just doing very well, and apparently I can't see any kills possibly coming. Not getting a jump right here by the Falcon Punch and the Rotten Grasp. The Power Throw is there as well. And just way too much damage coming out for Gauntlet. And the lockdown was sufficient, so even if he is a hero that had an escape mechanism, my guess is he would not have survived. While the Parasite being obviously seen by the tower in the top lane, we're going to have Kraken trying to chase down this Defiler. She does pop a health potion right there, but the charge forward, one more auto attack from Kraken. Splash obviously finishes her off, so Jarl unfortunately does not survive, and it's once again they're going to pick off this time with the Rhapsody. So from Melina and the Power Throw, the face hug is there as well. Rotten Grasp helping to finish her off, so KG picks up that kill as well. 2-0 and 1. Martyr looking for a counter onto this Deadwood, but he's at full health, so he's actually not going to do very much damage. And Deadwood obviously out of range of that Retribution anyway, so things going very well for BMG, and Hag going to be forced to blink away. Wall goes down from Bramble. Going to do some good tower damage right here, but won't actually kill this Wretched Hag. As actually she's going to look for a counter kill onto Bramble. Going to try to teleport away. We'll see if Haxorn can check him in time. Can't find him, so nice little juke there from Rainoir, and unfortunately has to juke away and get out of there because he was in danger of being killed by this Wretched Hag because it's still sub 200 GPM, but she could be in some trouble as Gauntlet is looking for the initiation, has the wings on him from Martyr, and currently Wretched Hag not in range, but trying to down the tower, and we'll see if Gauntlet can actually get anything out of this. We're going to see some TP support come out for BMG, so they want to turn this around. as Hag needs to be very careful with her positioning. Parasite can look for something, and they will find a Gauntlet right there. Campman Champion Slow is in. Rotten Grasp is there as well. Gauntlet going to fall, no question. The KGE throwing the log, getting the kill. Super KGE, sorry, Haxerin running away. The stun from Gauntlet, which is the stun from Bramble will not hit. And all of a sudden, Martyr in a lot of trouble as he's taking some pretty good damage. The Bat Blast off is doing a lot there. Parasite will be able to finish off that kill. Forced out of the Catman Champion finally, and will just back off because they don't want to be able to chase Bramble. He's a little bit too tanky with the Lave Tube. Has plenty of assistance from the Rhapsody anyway, so not worth the chase. Regardless, the gank on Wretched Hag turns around and gets a couple of kills, in fact, for the Legion team. Obviously not what they're looking for. Top lane, meanwhile, Onmi is perhaps going to be in some trouble. Gets stunned out by the Gauntlet Blast. Release of Kraken does not hit anything thanks to a very nice hook from Gauntlet, and Onmi will be slowed down a little bit. 360 GPM from him still, despite that death, and he is no longer the top farmer on his team, but for a little while he was actually the top farmer of the game. Very, very excellent performance from Onmi in this long lane, and I'm just becoming more and more impressed with this player and his ability to do well in the suicide role. I mean, he doesn't necessarily win that matchup against Defiler. She can spam out her wave of death very, very consistently, and has the potential to win the lane, obviously, against Kraken with the continuous auto-attack harass and then the spam. If she plays it right, meanwhile, middle lane, it's Pallet that's going to drop to the Bramble initiation. Rhapsody's there with the staccatos as well, and it's way too much damage. Rotten Grasp goes into the punch, but look at how tanky that Bramble is. He's still going to die here, but it takes him a long time to kill him. Ends up being a 1-for-1 in favor of the Legion side as the Hellborn team lose their top farmer, and actually is their second highest farmer now. Meanwhile, Kraken once again going to have to be forced away, and he should be fine, but a hasted Rhapsody coming in from the back, and Onmi playing this extremely well as Rhapsody thought that he was already gone. Instead, he's sitting under the tower, and Rhapsody can no longer initiate right here. Rotten Grasp onto the Defiler. That's going to be a kill as Kraken's coming right back into this. Nice power throw from the base. That's going to help finish off one kill, and it should be a second. Martyr trying to run away, but obviously no escape mechanism. Some TP Savar coming in for him. Rotten Grasp very well placed from Super KGE. That'll be another kill, and here comes Bramble looking for some counters. Kraken should be falling right here. And auto attacking Bramble. No, a beautiful stun from Aluna coming through. And Onmi will get away. Parasite also trying to evade. Rotten Grasp is going to slow down the Bramble. They sort of want this counter kill, and they're going to get it, as Bramble all of a sudden needs to be on the run very fast, thanks to that ensnaring shrubbery, I believe is what it is, that makes them so quick. Combat Vigor, there we go, that's what it is. His ensnaring shrubbery was a third skill. Meanwhile, it's Rhapsody looking for some pickoffs as Rainwall the Rebel eventually does fall. Parasite is going to die thanks to Rhapsody's intervention, so her patience does pay off. Aluna, though, going exactly the correct direction. If she had gone down, she would have run right into Wrap. Gauntlet Blast still comes through onto her, and my guess is Pallet is not going to survive this engagement. Yeah, Gauntlet Hook is there. Will finish her off, so the burst damage from Mott is sufficient to take out the Legion support. Release Kraken in the middle lane is going to be dropped right on Martyr's face. That should be another kill, as no, actually Martyr getting away, and he was going to turn this around with the Retribution. That's the difficulty of playing up against Martyr. You got to kill him, and now Onmi's learning that lesson the hard way as he gets things turned around. Very good support coming in from the Hellborn team, and they will pick up the kill onto the Kraken. So Onmi doing so well, and all of a sudden not. And once again, the action does not stop. Gauntlet gets picked off as Deadwood uses the Falcon Punch and the Rotten Grasp. KGE's use of this Rotten Grasp has been fantastic. He's really not missed any, and hit them at critical points as well to pick up kills. So very, very well played from KGE on this Deadwood. He's being rewarded with 430 GPM and a 7-0-3 score. And certainly a game that he will remember at least for the next several hours after it's played, because he had a lot of good ones. But this one definitely a very, very good one, at least in the early going. 12 minutes in, he's already been involved in 10 kills. And that's the kind of impact you want to have when you're playing not only a hero, a mid-initiator in general, but a hero like Deadwood. You want to get active early, and you want to get active constantly. His cooldown on his ultimate is not that long anymore. Bramble could be in some trouble. Meanwhile, as here comes Parasite. Actually, the slow's going to miss. They still have the face hug through, though, so he's going to be really fast thanks to that. And Elite. Here comes the Wretched Hag initiation, but the heal from Martyr will clean that up. Parasite going to try to run away now. Gauntlet Hook not going to connect. Does not hit creeps, of course. Parasite going to still be in some trouble as the Hellborn team has that Combat Vigor activated. Going to be a stun out through from Parasite, and he should be falling right here as we have 4 heroes on the Hellborn side, even 5 coming through. Parasite going to try to TP away. Not going to work. Game is Grim just barely dying before the TP goes through. And he will get the one counter kill. Rainwall is like, screw you. Nearly killed him, but the support from Martyr was very, very good. And 15-7 hero kills, an action-packed game, what we like to see. More than 3 kills every 2 minutes, something like that. That's what the ratio we're looking at here. 1.5 kills per minute. And especially that one fight that just kept going on and on and on and on. I have a chance to catch my breath now. And the Legion side pushes in the middle tower. So one thing we haven't seen too much of from this Hellborn team is a substantial push. The Hellborn did take out that top tier 1 tower a little while ago, not too long ago. But with a Defiler on their team, you'd expect them to be grouping up and taking towers quickly. Really, Jarl level 10 on that Defiler, so close to a level 2 ultimate. Probably doesn't want to waste it before he hits level 11 and has the level 2 ulti. Once that happens, most of the towers in this game on the Legion side should be dropping very quickly. Wretched Hag isn't going to be in a lot of trouble right here. Gauntlet going to need to land the hook, though, and will do so. 1 stun, 2 stuns, get silenced out by the Defiler, and that'll be a kill on Haxerin. So Wretched Hag can't blink if he's silenced, and really can't survive if he can't blink. So Hellborn team realizing that, and very good play from Mox right there on the Gauntlet. Excellent setup with the hook. Middle lane, KGE could be in some trouble. Wall actually does not really hit the way they wanted it to, and I think KGE will be fine as a result. Pull the keys away. Grapsy is going to get some stuff. A nice red stun from Aluna. Rotten Grass does miss. I'm going to try to turn this on Bramble, but he's really, really tanky. Gauntlet Blast goes through onto Parasite. Double damage rune also on Gauntlet. That should be a pretty easy kill on Parasite. Murder using the heal, not bad, but Bramble getting charged back under the tower. He is so damn tanky. Loose cracking right on his face as Gauntlet falls in the background. They will still lose the Bramble, so it's 2 for 1 in favor of this BMG team, and it looks like that'll be the end of the engagement as the Hellborn team no longer want to fight this. Puzzle Box minions providing some support from the Legion side as Parasite got them off before he fell. And, oh, it's not what I wanted to do. Shit. I've lost the items. There we go. Aha, I hit caps lock. That was the wrong thing to hit. Don't hit caps lock, people. F1 brought them back, though. Anyway, Legion side, BMG, taking a pretty good lead still. Not quite as good as their Game 1 lead. They don't necessarily have this game in the bag right off the bat. But the problem is, for the Hellborn team, they don't have that much in the way of true late game carries. Now, neither do the Legion side. Wretched Hag, probably the hardest carry in this game. Well, arguably. I guess you could say that Tyler is definitely a late game hero as well. Can do a lot if given the right items. And especially considering a lot of Hag's damage does tend to be magical. If you see a bunch of shrunken heads start to pile up on the Hellborn team, which is my expectation, a lot of this Legion damage is going to be mitigated very, very heavily. Wretched Hag and Parasite won't be doing too much. Aluna won't be doing too much. Meanwhile, speaking of Wretched Hag in the bottom lane, going to get away, actually, from Gauntlet as Parasite's coming in for backup a little bit. And the Hellborn team trying to push out this middle lane. Defiler is level 11, has access to the level 2 ultimate, trying to kill this tower, and perhaps in the next one as well. So there goes the Exorcism level 2, and dead tower. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that probably very soon, as Defiler's like, let's group up, let's take some towers. We have our ultimates available. I'd like to do that, and Defiler's not going to survive very much longer because a very, very late production melody from Rhapsody. They're going to counter on KGE, so it's a 1 for 1. And they will end a pretty big streak right there. Rainwalk getting extra 575 gold out of that. Maybe not the greatest trade in the world as a result. Marta being focused by Parasite and Aluna a little bit. Release the Kraken onto 2 heroes. That's going to be at least 1 kill. No, Marta gets the charge off, but then it gets charged, the ulti off, but then Rainwalk gets charged away. TP away is going to be successful as actually Bramble will survive this. Martyr, very, very slow. No escape mechanism. He should be falling right here. Might get a retribution off, but no, it doesn't even get that as he falls in the end. So 3 for 1 in favor of the Legion side. They also stop the push. And that's a pretty nice engagement for BMG if they can take team fights, even coming into a Defiler ultimate, thanks to the ability of KGE to just absolutely wreck that hero, then that's going to be proved very, very effective for them. 420 gold per minute on the Deadwood is obviously crucial. Deadwood with the negative Souls Bulwark, I assume, yeah, is going to provide a lot of damage off of that Willowmaker, of course, which deals physical damage. So reduced armor, it means a lot more DPS for the Willowmaker. You can see the punch on Defiler just absolutely destroy that hero. Oh, I love y'all, chat. Defiler not going to get hit by the Rotten Grasp, not that well placed by KGE in that instance, and he had 4 more seconds on the Willowmaker, so you could probably argue that he should have waited a little bit. Meanwhile, Aluna going to get caught out by Gauntlet right here, and that's going to be a kill, as Kraken apparently does not want to chase and assist his teammate. Mott's with the BM, well played. Anyway, really going to stop push here in the bottom lane as Defiler has access to her ultimate once again. As I was saying before, the uptime on that spell is very, very high. The downtime is low, the uptime is high. And I think they really need to just keep pushing. I mean, if they don't push, their strategy is not going to work. They really built this line around Defiler and using her ultimate to take towers and get a gold advantage right from that. They had a pretty good gold disadvantage right now, and I think they got to get back into it somehow. This Convoy kill will help if they actually get it, but there's a ward of sight that really saw them move over that way. So I think the Legion side are aware that Convoy is going on, or at least suspicious of it. Yeah, you can see Deadwood going through. The power throw will spout them out. The Rotten Grab's actually going to hit a bunch of heroes right there. And we'll see if they continue to go for this, as the Legion side is clearly indicating that they're not going to have it for free. Defiler has the ultimate pop, and they have to be very careful about this because it's going to end soon. They're not going to get Congo, or they have to get out now if they don't want to all die. They really, really want this token. Are they going to get it? It looks like it. They're going to stop some portal keys here, so Congo is going to die. And they're going to put a token of life on a Defiler, but her ultimate's gone. They need to get the hell out of this. I'm very surprised, honestly, that BMG did not engage on that. They didn't have vision inside of the pit, so maybe that's why they felt like they couldn't fight it, but they probably could have, to be honest. And maybe it was the Bramble Wall canceling the portal key from Deadwood, but in any situation, it should have been an initiation from BMG right there. Now, with God Vision, obviously, it's much easier to say that, and given the information that they had, it may have been a lot harder to say that. So, I'm trying to play it safe a little bit, but now Defiler has a token of life, and she's going to have an ultimate back up in 30 seconds, so wouldn't be surprising at all to see her try to push down some more towers here and get a couple more significant gold bounties for her team, because they really do want to start making up that gold deficit sooner rather than later. They can't let KGE continue to walk away with this game. They can't let Onmi continue to farm as ridiculously well as he has. And actually, Hackspring getting back into this with over 300 gold per minute, definitely a positive development for the Legion side. And one that the Hellborn team cannot be happy about. And considering how much effort they put into shutting down that Hag and how well they did at that, you got to think they want to keep doing it. Kraken, meanwhile, sort of getting aggressed in the top lane, but he's just going to leave as he has too much tankiness and a portal key and a charge, so he should be just fine. Kind of playing this safe, actually, is they're going to look for a counter kill. Here comes Super KGE. It's going to be Defiler that's the focus. Obviously, she has the token of life, but she gets the silence out. Martyr is going to be the object of the aggression instead. Both these heroes look like they're probably going to die. Martyr getting hit by the power throw. That's going to be a kill. Slow down onto the Defiler. Actually, she might get away right here. No matter what, she will not be dying if she has a token of life. We can turn her on the pallet. There goes the token of life. But KGE definitely in a lot of trouble. Lucy Kraken actually doing a lot of damage. There's the Protective Malady. Going to save a fair bit as well as KGE finally falls. It took him a very long time to kill her. Now Haxrun going to have to run away. Has the blink available, and Parasite going to jump inside the puzzle box minion. Look to put some harass down, but actually they might not have realized exactly how much damage they can do. Parasite overplaying his hand a little bit and ends up getting turned on, so I'm not sure what Game is Grim was thinking there, but it was not the correct thing. And with 3 heroes dead on the Legion side, and a decent use of the token in the end, it's going to be a push in this top lane for the Hellborn team. It should be a pretty easy kill with the tier 2 tower. With fortification will slow us down a little bit, but they're going to take that opportunity to kill a creep wave. And that should still be a tier 2 tower down quickly. Gauntlet taking a lot of damage, but obviously Bramble and Defiler in the front lines, no problem tanking that tower and killing it. So, first tier 2 going in favor of the Hellborn team, both in the game and on their team. And they're going to back off right there, as Defiler's ultimate wears off, of course. So she's getting the 430 GPM. She's working on that Icon of the Goddess, and she has enough for it, so she really needs to buy it, and I assume it's on the way. She has 2,700 gold that's saved up on top of that, so wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Frostfield Plate. I think that's definitely what you're going to look for here, considering the physical DPS coming out of Deadwood. The last thing that can happen to you is you getting bursted down right off the bat, and with 1,500 health and Mystic Vestments, she's not in that much danger of getting killed by the magic damage. She really just needs something to protect her from the physical DPS of Deadwood. And of course, there are some right clicks that are still coming out on the good side, including the Torrent that will reduce her armor even further. So when it comes to items, that's what I'm looking for here on the Hellborn side. We also have some pretty good tankiness from Bramble, has the Helmet of Black Legion and the Astrolabe on top of Mystic Vestments, so already shown to be a very difficult hero to kill. Martyr just stacking up the fortified bracers, wants to get as much strength as possible for that raw HP so his Retribution does more damage, and so that he can heal better, and so that he can survive better in these team fights. Gauntlet picking up the portal key, of course. Standard item on him, and 270 GPM, so not much else in the way of items. Wretched Hag looking like she wants to go for the Hellflower on top of the Grave Locket. A little bit interesting. Not sure if that's really the best choice. I don't see really what purpose it serves. There aren't that many spells or heroes that are super crippled by a Hellflower. The only situation in which that's super valuable is if you can get it off before a combo starts to come out. But you can still only CC one hero, and there are a lot of spells that are coming out in general on this Hellborn side, so I guess a Sheepstick wouldn't have been all that good, but to be honest, Grimoire actually could have been solid in this game. It would have been a very late Grimoire, but it would have given her a lot more damage, and I think that's just what she needs right now. She has plenty of initiation from the Kraken and the Deadwood. She has frontline heroes in the Kraken and the Deadwood, and she just doesn't, I don't think she needs to be a CC type hero. I think she just needs DPS, continuous sustained DPS over the team fight, which is not something that the Legion side has too much of at this point. They have the burst, but they don't have too much for a longer team fight, especially when you compare it to the Defiler and to the Bramble Wall and that sort of thing. Aluna picking up the Major Totem. That'll be a push book, and that's never a bad item. Of course, Deadwood currently sitting on plenty of gold, likely looking to finish off the breastplate after his Soul's Bulwark has been completed. Friggin' Head just completed on Kraken, and we're going to see a top melee Rex get taken out. So the Legion side is counter pushing, realize they don't really want to push against the Defiler Ultimate. And the Hellborn team is going to take out a melee Rex as well, but we'll see actually how this fight goes. Haxman, the first one to fall. Defiler Ultimate is active, but a Kraken ulti going to prevent anybody from doing anything to own me. He'll lose TP away, so both teams get a Rex, and one team loses a hero. So that fight in general going the way of the Legions of the Hellborn side. Looks like Martyr is getting chased down a little bit here. Going to need TP away. Actually gets dusted out though. And my guess is he's not going to survive this. Rotten Grasp will catch him. So nice placement from KGE. And great game as Grim helps finish him off with the face hug. So no retribution on this day. He did buy out before he died though. So not the worst thing in the world. Doesn't lose too much in terms of overall resources. And the Hellborn team is evening things up a little bit. We're at 25 minutes in and they're just under 5k gold and 5k experiences advantage, which is much better than what they were doing before. Ural on that Defiler is really starting to pick up, challenging Own Me for the top farm in the game, and I think at this point Defiler can do more with that farm than the Kraken can. You look at Defiler, speaking of, getting the Storm Spirit, and that's not a bad item, especially because she can still be effective with her ultimate while she's Storm Spirited, so invulnerable and doing damage. I will take it, she says. It's going to delay her Frostfield plate, and that is her next item. As you can see, the plate now get picked up, so that's the crucial part of it, having the additional armor. So that's not bad at all overall, as far as her item choices go. Storm Spirit actually a very common item to Defiler, and a good one. Obviously, Witchcraft increases her movement speed passively, and the Storm Spirit does the same thing, so she's going to be very fast right now. Let's check exactly how fast. 413 base movement speed, and that's without even Ghost Marchers being needed to be activated. Just the Steam Boots Gauntlet. Looking for a random hook. Parasite, I'm going to assume that's a level 3 puzzle box, as he's the only one whose items I haven't covered yet, but obviously puzzle box standard on Parasite, and a very good item, a very good choice in this game. Not too much invis, but you like the amount of uncontrolled damage that can go through, and Defiler could in fact do a lot to herself if she accidentally kills that Defiler, that puzzle box minion with her ulti, or with Wave of Death. And obviously puzzle box just being a generally solid item as well. So not too many difficulties with the item choices overall of both teams. And the Hellborn team trying to push as fast as they possibly can. Defiler currently level 15, so she'll probably like to be 16 before she pops her ultimate again, but she's going to do it nonetheless here. And this tower, you see this tower absolutely get melted. Both teams are trading lanes once again, but I think Hellborn are going to push this a lot faster than the Legion side will, and BMG are realizing that as they're going to push back into their base. Defiler just sitting back there, no token of life of course, but still doing a lot of damage. Aluna stun, looking for the 5-seconder on Defiler, can't find it though. The silence is going to do something to Parasite, prevent him from reinitiating, but they get through tower of course, and they're actually going to put the charge back in. Rotten Grasp is there as well, Victor Melody though, going to save. Defiler canceled immediately. Wall is there from Bramble. Let's see if it's actually going to do anything. Release the Kraken, only hits the one hero. I think Defiler, Gauntlet can be a lot of trouble as KG. No, beautiful heal from Martyr. That's going to keep the Gauntlet right back up. KG and the Deadwood, the only one to survive, or to fall right here. Defiler gonna take a lot of damage as she's getting focused once again. Her ultimate is down. Storm puts herself back up here. She's still gonna fall here. She puts the silence down. That's gonna be annoying, but oh, maybe she won't fall. Gets push booked away, and she's gonna survive. Gauntlet Hook is gonna miss. Parasite having to get out of there. She's in some trouble. Only also quite low. Hacks are in, taking a lot of damage, and BMG being forced to retreat back into the well. The Hellborn team can't really push the racks right here because the Legion side is going to regen and come back into this fight. They're also not going to lose anything much, though, as they in fact actually lose their top racks, so that's not the worst thing in the world because the mid racks were also cleaned up, so... Alright, it's a 1-for-1, but the Hellborn team come out in a bit of an advantage right there as they take a tier 3 tower, and Defiler getting ever closer to that level 3 ultimate, which will allow her to push towers even faster, and she's continuously getting tankier and tankier, so more and more difficult to take out in these team fights. We already see how hard it is to kill her with level 15 and with that plate mail. And my guess is, as she continues to bulk up, we're going to see a finished Frostfield plate pretty soon, and after that, my guess is a shrunken head. Once you have those two items on her, she's going to be very, very hard to take out. And these icon charges starting to roll up a little bit as well. She's currently got 4. It's not the most, but it's a stacking item. The more icon charges she gets, the harder she is to kill, the more icon charges she gets. And this hero can definitely snowball in the mid to late game and just become very, very annoying to deal with, impossible to kill. And part of the reason why I like her. So definitely having a good game, and you can look at the resources as well. They've evened up, as WoG is by no means behind anymore, and they are in fact in a bit of an advantage when it comes to map resources. Even the golden experience are still slightly in favor of BMG. Super KGE has fallen off substantially. It had that 9-0 streak, and since then has died 3 straight times. Hasn't had the sort of impact that he wants to. Of course, 360 GPN, a far cry from what he was doing before. Elgo actually going to get falling right there. So Rhapsody getting picked off in the woods. Just as I say that, of course, Super KGE finds a pick, because of course he does. Meanwhile, Kongor going down. Level 16 is on Defiler right here, but the Legion side knows this is going on. Battle Blast on the 3 heroes. The Rotten Grass was there as well. Release the Kraken onto everybody, and they're getting racked. A Luna stun hits the Martyr in the background, and that's going to be a 5-seconder. That's not going to allow him to save anybody. The entire Hellborn team, save Martyr, is dead. He will get away with the teleport. In the meantime, Kongor will be finished off by the Legion side, and that's the kind of turn that the Hellborn did not need. And you really wonder, why are they taking Kongor with no vision whatsoever? You cannot do that. Way too risky a move, and they paid for it heavily. You see a buyback on Defiler, but she has no ultimate for nearly a minute, and that's going to be a pretty huge issue. Martyr getting caught out by Onmi on the Kraken, and he should die as he's getting silenced. No, he's going to turn this around, actually. Token of Life gets lost right there. Wretched going to come right back up, has to blink away to try to survive. So the buybacks on the Hellborn team are successful, both Bramble and Defiler being forced to buy out, but as a result in saving their mid-racks and their mid-tower. Nice Storm Spirit, and Linda will stop the teleport, and she will die right here. So at least they get the 1 kill out of it, and they successfully defend their base. Absolutely a necessary engagement. And we'll see if they look for a counter push. They did take the token away from Wretched Hag, and they do have a level 16 on Defiler, so thinking they got the ultimate back up in 10 seconds. Let's make some use of it, and we'll see if they actually choose to go that route. 30 seconds left on the Bramble ultimate. They probably want that to be available as well, but by the time they push down the bottom lane, it will be back up, and it looks like that's going to be their objective here. They want to get aggressive, and they want to continue to put the pressure on BMG and not let them farm up, and continue to increase their gold lead, which is all of a sudden back at nearly 8,000 and over 11,500 experience. So you look at that, the Hellborn team slowly, carefully climbing back into the game, but for lack of a ward, losing that entire, 15 minutes worth of work in about 15 seconds. And meanwhile, Defiler going to jump once again, completely out-caught in the front of her team. 2 ultimates used, but definitely worth it. Bramble actually getting hit by the puzzle box minions, and he's going to fall as well. A very tanky hero, but when you got 4 heroes beating on you, Mario going to try to get away, will be able to evade with the teleport, and he should be fine. He will be fine. But both the cores getting picked off, and what the hell were they doing? I mean, once again, you don't have vision of the Legion side. You have lots of vision, actually, now of the river and of their woods. You don't see them, so they're probably coming to kill you. And you have absolutely no vision of, you have no help from your team. So what are you doing? They have buybacks available on both heroes, but going to be seeing respawn on Defiler in 10 seconds, so she probably doesn't want to use it. Bramble might be forced to buy back. They're going to try to defend right here. Gauntlet looking for something. Actually gets the hook on a wretched tag, but Omi had already initiated, so that's probably not what he was looking for. All of a sudden, Gauntlet's being in trouble. No, very nice predictive melody. Finally stopped as Haxorn has been falling. The Bramble wall is there. Going to cut off the Kraken, and Omi has got a lot of health, but I think he's still going to fall right here. He's getting chased down. He's going to have a portal key. No, Omi's still dying, so ends up costing them a Bramble buyback. They probably did not have to use hers, but she does have an ultimate back up. Currently, Kraken and Haxorn both have a buyback available, so if the Hellborn team try to push into the base, they will not be able to break it without some serious resistance from BMG. And fight's really going generally in favor of Bad Monkey Gaming, as they're taking the hero kills relatively even, but they're getting more objectives, they're getting more map control, they're getting tower damage and more building damage out of it than the Hellborn team are, because Hellborn are basically just trying to keep the monkeys off of their base, and continuing the split push there in the middle lane is Luna and Deadwood trying to take out a tier 3 tower in the middle lane, and that's going to happen actually. So we're going to see a response here from the Hellborn side, and the hook is going to stop you in the teleport. That's going to be a kill, as KGE is just like, sorry pallet, I'm out. I'm going to teleport away, and he will be just fine though. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to try to push this in. Both Haxorn and Parasite are here to defend. Luna buys back, as does Kraken. Let's see if they can actually do anything about this. Release Kraken though, right onto Bramble. Storm Spirit actually can do a lot to save him. Release Kraken, or Kraken has his shrunken head up, not even taking too much damage. 2 seconds stun on Defiler. That could be plenty of damage to kill her. And they really have a lot of DPS, much more than you'd think. They will stop the teleport as well from Rainwaw, and he's going to die. No buyback available on Bramble. Water now getting chased down. He'll be killed as well. Face up going to stop any sort of retribution damage. And that's another very strong engagement from Bad Monkey Gaming, as every single time they take a significant fight, it seems like they come out ahead. Middle lane, they're going to be able to stem the tide of the super creeps pouring into their base, and perhaps counter the racks right here, as Jarl on the Defiler has a buyback available, but with no ultimate, what really can he do in these fights? He is going to still use his buyback, sort of being forced to. Rotten, especially Gauntlet, going to run right into it. That's not the greatest thing in the world. It's going to also up his portal key for the next couple of seconds. Rhapsody pushes himself forward, gets the staccatos, but Luna, who cares about her? Hellflower on Gauntlet, he's not going to be able to do anything. He might be a little bit out of the Rhapsody protected melody, doesn't matter, he'll be stopped anyway and killed. Gauntlet also falls. They're finally going to try to run away, but we've got 5 heroes versus just the one. He has to be extremely careful about her positioning here. Gauntlet uses a buyback, so does Rhapsody. Push looks forward all over the place as BMG is now running away, and they don't have a lot of health, they don't have a lot of mana. They will be able to catch Parasite right here with the Gauntlet hook and the staccato stuns. And literally will be able to teleport away despite the use of the push buck by Gauntlet. So BMG gets back out of the base of WoG once again, but it costs them a ton of buybacks. Currently Defiler and Bramble, the 2 cores out of buybacks, Rhapsody and Gauntlet having used 1 apiece. And where's the WoG team going? Parasite's dead for the next 50 seconds, but he's got a buyout, so this is definitely not going to result in any sort of significant objectives taken for the Hellborn team if they try to push into the BMG base. And in fact, they could be countered on once again, as every single time they try to take one of these fights, we see Defiler get killed. She just does not have the capacity to survive these, and I realize why now. She's dropped her misinvestments. She has 1800 health, but the amount of magic damage coming out from the Legion side is substantial, and she really shouldn't have done that before she had a shrunken head. Anyway, there's the engagement. Nice Rotten Grasp, and the release of Kraken onto 2. It's going to be Jarl and Defiler dead right off the bat. 5 second stun from Aluna once again. Gauntlet trying to get chased down here, as Aluna is in some trouble. She is going to fall in the end. Bramble, a lot of tankiness, but all of a sudden no more damage on the WoG side. Gets caught by the Rotten Grasp. That's going to be a kill on Rainwaw as he falls finally. Parasite and Deadwood trying to chase down these last 3 heroes. Rhapsody getting mana burn. Staccato Stun's going to slow down KG a little bit. Actually, Gauntlet coming back in, looking for the counter kill onto Deadwood. Gets the heal from Martyr, not going to matter. Gauntlet eventually is going to fall right here. Gets push bumped all over the place. Somehow he's still alive thanks to those wings from Martyr, but eventually he finally does fall, and there goes Beelzebub too. All 4 of the 5 heroes are dead. Parasite should be able to finish off this Rhapsody, as she's out of mana and out of health. What a juke. Not going to matter, actually, as Wretchedag's like, I don't care where you are, I have a sonar screen. It's going to find you. And that's going to be a genocide in favor of BMG. More buybacks. Nope. They have no more buybacks. So Defiler going to respawn right here, but immediately gets charged into the het racks and killed. Jarl, no vestments, man. Really needed to have those vestments. Having them dropped was so bad. I really think that's what has what caused him to start losing these engagements, because he started getting destroyed by magic damage. And you know, before you pick up the Shrunken Head, I don't think you can drop those vestments against a team like this. So BMG going to finish off the racks. That's going to give them Mega Creeps, and it's going to be a matter. Sorry, they have one ranged left in the middle lane, so excuse me. They don't actually have Mega Creeps quite yet, but look at their health bars. They're like, yeah, we don't really want to stick around for the respawns here, so we'll just retreat, come back and finish those racks off later. It's not like we don't have the time and ample opportunities to do so. Massive lead here for Bad Monkey Gaming. Should be on their way to a pretty easy 2-0 victory, and a very nice recovery as well in some respects from both teams, because WoG definitely came out of the laning phase and the early mid game looking like they could be going down, but they slowly built themselves a little bit of a cushion. They got right back into it, and they gave it away with a bad team fight because they didn't have the appropriate vision. So once again, this game, there's just so much stuff you have to pay attention to, and you make any sort of mistake against a team like BMG, and they will take advantage of it. You forget to ward Congoer, they'll take advantage of that. Your Defiler drops his vestments for something else before picking up Shrunken Head. They'll drop a bunch of magic damage on your face, and as a result, I think WoG, feeling the pressure of being put up against a team that is, frankly, just better than they are. And this is what happens when you go against that sort of team and you don't play perfectly. Middle lane Bramble will drop the wall right here. Really not doing all that much. Perhaps a protective Melody gonna get stopped. Actually, no, it's continuing to go. And Bramble out of range of it, doesn't matter. Backblast hits 3 heroes. Martin's gonna put a lot of heal back. The elbow is still gonna fall on that Rhapsody. We'll see actually if the Defiler and Gauntlet can survive this. Gauntlet can't, Defiler probably can't. She's dishing out a lot of damage, but eventually does still go down. All of a sudden, Martyr in a really bad position, and that's a 5-man wipe once again. So the Hellborn team, bit of a last gasp right there, and they will eventually call the CC and pass it. So BMG perhaps a little bit longer than you expect considering their early to mid-game lead, but a nice recovery, as I said, from WoG caused that game to go a little bit longer than I think BMG probably wanted it to. In the end, though, WoG making a couple of critical errors and coming out the losers not only in the game but in the series. So, congrats to BMG. They will be moving on to the winners bracket semifinals, and WoG unfortunately going to be dropped down to the losers bracket round 2, where they will face. Let's see. I don't know why I can't see them. Like if I was Mewtwo, they're gonna be facing Mewtwo. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. I didn't spoil anything. Anyway, BMG one step closer to returning to Diamond Division. We'll see if they can finish up that road as we continue to move deeper into Cycle 7. So congrats to them. Thanks for watching, guys. And as usual, I want to begin and end the cast with yes, new setup. Yes, some things are different. I am not particularly happy about a lot of the things that are different. The only thing that's good is the 1080p streaming, but please let me know if there is anything obvious that I need to fix that I'm not noticing because I'm not watching these whole casts, or whatever, just anything you have to say. I will be taking it into consideration. I won't necessarily do anything with it, but I'll definitely see whether it's worth addressing and if I can address it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, as usual, and hey, hit sub, you know? Just saying. I feel bad insisting on people do it. It's like telling people to do that. I'm like, just, if you want to sub, you will. But I guess it is valuable to say. So, thanks for joining as usual, guys, and we'll see you for the next series.